Welcome to My Hometown, the program that explores clubs, organizations, businesses, and issues across Nassau and Suffolk counties and sheds light on the different towns that are making a difference.
Hello and welcome to My Hometown. I'm Bill Horan, along with my co-host, Stacy Raine.
Bill, are you in the Christmas spirit?
Well, not exactly, but it's kind of not the season now.
Well, today we're going to get you there, no matter what time of year it is, by introducing you to the Little Saint Nick Foundation, located in East Rockaway, New York, which inspires kids and local communities to give back to those kids in need all year long.
Our guests today are Zack Andersen, the Chief Operating Officer of the Little Saint Nick Foundation, and Bradley Cooper, their Executive Director of the Northeast region. Zack and Bradley, welcome to My Hometown on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
Thanks so much. Happy to be here.
Now, tell us about Little Saint Nick. Usually this is something seasonal. Why are we talking about it now, and how did it come about?
So basically, our founder, Ray, why we are called the Little Saint Nick Foundation and why it seems to have this Christmas spirit connotation to it is that his birthday is Christmas Eve.
Oh.
So as a young child being admitted into the hospital and kind of facing the fears of being in an unfamiliar and somewhat scary environment, he ultimately left the hospital that same day, but was very fortunate not to have a long-term illness or disease, something that was treatable. He had leg calf perthes, which is a rare hip joint disease. So he went home and asked his parents, do the other kids get to go home? How does this kind of thing work for children that visit the hospital? They explained to him that kids have to stay there weeks or months or years. So with his birthday being Christmas Eve, he gathered up all his birthday and Christmas gifts and brought them back that same year. That spiraled into a season of giving every single year and has blossomed into what the Little Saint Nick Foundation is now, in which we inspire kids in local communities to give back to other kids in need, and they carry out Ray's same giving passion year-round outside of just the Christmas time as well.
And about how long ago did this happen?
This was 2004, so he was in the hospital and he was 4 years old. First started giving back, and then the foundation was formally started when he was 6.
Wow!
I mean, what a tiny little kid to dream this up and think, well, I'm gonna help these other kids that have to stay when I didn't. That's such an inspiring story. I bet you guys just love telling it.
Yeah, really incredible perspective for such a young child to have.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'd love to learn about you both and your roles at the organization. So, Zack, should we start with you? Tell me about the Chief Operating Officer. What are you doing?
Oh, I guess that kind of handles it's in the title itself, a little bit of everything. So I work with Bradley for our Northeast operations. I work with Will, who is our Chief Giving Officer. He oversees all of our programs, whether they're in the hospital, so actually distribution of gift bags, or outside of the hospital, volunteer events with youth groups, schools, businesses that are partnering with us to pack the bags. We have our amazing Director of Marketing, Kira, who I work with daily as well to push out our branding and our content. And then outside of all of that, we have operations running in 7 different states and 3 different countries right now. So the Chief Operating Officer handles many hats at this current time.
That is a lot of hats. And then, Bradley, you are the Executive Director of the Northeast. So tell us, that sounds like a big job.
Yeah, it's a fluffy title, but no, I do a lot of what Zack asks of me. So I work a lot in tandem with Zack, but on the day-to-day, I'm partnering with a lot of schools, youth groups, local businesses. So our mission is for kids, inspiring kids, and the idea is to keep it in local communities. But obviously, we don't like to keep it just for kids. So that's why I say businesses too, because that's our big kid program is what we like to call it. Because if you want to help out a kid, no need to be exclusive.
Right.
So we've reached out to businesses, schools from elementary school to the collegiate level, as well as like those local youth groups like the Girl Scouts, and we do bag packing events. So these bags include 5 items, which is a stuffed animal, colored pencils or crayons, a coloring book, and Pop-Its, which is like reusable bubble wrap, which is also my personal favorite. And the fifth item is a handwritten inspirational card from the person who packs the bag, just with some well wishes, like, you got this, we're rooting for you, those sort of things. So all of these events that we have with these groups, I'll usually go. We'll do fundraisers, whether that's monetarily or if it's the actual items that I just mentioned that we'll raise for supply drives. And then we'll pack up the bags. I'll take them either back to our office or then to one of the local hospitals that we're partnered with, like New York Presbyterian Morgan Stanley Children's Hospital and Cohen's Children's Medical Center. Those were our two biggest ones here in New York. So yeah, a lot of events and a lot of planning.
And so, do you take the bags to the hospital, and the hospital then gives them out to the kids?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
So we'll give them, the couple hundred that we'll pack at these events, and then it's up to the hospital's discretion who they give it out to. So obviously, they're looking for the kids that come there who are looking at it as a scary situation. But I say it's up to the hospital's discretion because it's not necessarily just the patients who get them. It can sometimes be their siblings, because sometimes, parents can't get a babysitter or have their child being watched. So, when you're coming and watching your sibling in a scary situation, you're also a little scared yourself. Yeah. So it's up to those hospitals to see who they want to give it out to, whether that be patients or siblings as well.
Well, I have to tell you, last summer, my son ended up in the hospital, not here, but he ended up in the hospital as we were actually traveling here. And that was one of the things that happened is the hospital came in and they brought him like coloring books, and they brought his brother something. And I would have never thought like, oh, this is something the hospital could or someone else could do. It really did make a huge difference. So I just love this idea.
This is a great job, though, because you guys only work 6 weeks a year, right? Basically mid-November till end of the year, and then you wrap up and go on vacation.
Oh, if only if it was just Christmas. No, we work year-round. We are full-time employees from the Little St. Nick Foundation. So the giving season is 365 days a year for us.
But your non-busy season from mid-November on, and then I'm kidding, of course.
Yes.
But take us through the, what does an organization like this do? Because I often wondered, we see the Thanksgiving Day parade, but then we don't even think of it for the next 360 so days, and then it comes up again in Christmas, etc. So what do you do throughout the rest of the year to make this a wonderful project?
Yeah, I mean, when you look at from really November to February and the giving season as a whole, that is when everyone does want to give back, and really that nature comes out of them. So for specifically to New York, we have 50 schools, businesses, and youth groups that partner for supply drives, and they collect these stuffed animals, Pop-Its, coloring books, and crayons that Bradley mentioned, and get us supplies to pack bags for the next 6 months maybe. So then from there we can bring youth volunteers to our office. They can pack gift bags and things like that. And then from there, the rest of the year, we basically hold events on a weekly basis with different high schools or businesses in the area. And we try and do everything as a localized impact. So with all these hospital partners that we mentioned, as soon as their inventory levels get low, they let us know, and then we contact a youth group near the hospital, because we want it to be that kid-to-kid relationship. We want a kid outside the hospital packing a bag for a pediatric patient inside the hospital. So we hold those events, and then we resupply the hospitals to make sure their inventory levels stay high year-round.
So you're kind of like a Walmart of giving. I mean, you check if the inventory goes down.
I think we're going to have to use that moving forward.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I mean, it really is impressive. It's not just potluck. Oh, you're down on gifts, we'll get you something in a week or two. This is very well organized, I guess, and computerized, et cetera. But just as you explained it, and that's what I'm trying to learn about, if someone's coming in, you're not forgetting about them, or we'll catch the next one. You're really online.
Hands-on,
Hands-on, know what's going on.
Yeah, we had incredibly rapid expansion from the beginning of 2023 into now, and it started with expanding to 7 states, but we were very meticulous in the process, where it was, we can't just go to a state just to go and say that we're there. If we're going to go and give to a hospital and make it that standard, so if your son or daughter is admitted into a hospital and they receive a gift bag, we want the same patient that follows them after to be welcome with that same gift bag, because it becomes a standard. It becomes the environment that they're in. It improves the pediatric patient's experience, but it also improves the morale throughout the hospital as well, is what we've come to realize. So once we give, we want to continue.
And we're talking about giving. We'll let you do a little commercial now. If there's somebody out there, are you looking for volunteers? Are you looking for organizations to donate? You're both smiling, so this is the opportunity of a lifetime. Millions of people are listening to this show.
Yes, we're always looking for partners, donors, volunteers, all of the above. All year round, we're always looking for events, for supply drives, for bag packing events. We're always looking for continuous partners and donors with us, whether that be for our luau coming up on the yearly that we have, or just in general being a volunteer and coming to pack a bag, or your local school or someone that you want to get involved. We are always open and inclusive to anyone and everyone for being involved.
And how can anybody go wrong with Little St. Nick, kids in hospitals doing this? And honestly, such a well-run already. I'm very impressed in how well-run this is. And Stacy, in your next question, get in the luau and see if we can get invited.
All right. First, I'm going to remind our listeners that you are listening to My Hometown on the voice of Nassau Community College 90.3 WHPC. I'm Stacy Raine here with Bill Horan, and today we're learning about the Little St. Nick Foundation, located in East Rockaway, New York. This foundation inspires kids in local communities to give back to those in need all year long. Our guests today are Bradley Cooper, Executive Director of the Northeast Region, and Zack Andersen, the Chief Operating Officer of the Little St. Nick Foundation. So let's get back to that luau. What do you think? Tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah.
Good job.
So
First and
I want to.
You both are on the list for 2 tickets.
So let's talk about these events. I can imagine if you're an adult or a kid and you're getting to pack these bags for somebody that you know is going to really, really just be happy to have, that popper or something to do when you're just sitting in a hospital bed. That must be just a really kind of I feel like these events are kind of magical.
No, they definitely are. And I've kind of hosted events spanning from Girl Scouts to, middle schools or collegiate level, or even just like businesses too in the city. So, from a business level, you're always having businesses who are looking to be philanthropic and give back to their communities. So it's a really nice change of pace for their daily routine to come out and write some cards, color in some of our, we actually have a card with our logo printed out like this, black and white, so that people can color it in and write a little joke or a message on the inside of it. So the businesses really love that environment and change of pace. From the school level, usually from like elementary and middle school, the kids tend to ask us, like, when can we do the next one? Because we arrange all of our packings in like an assembly line. So they get up, they're moving, they're writing. And then actually most recently we had an event for Stony Brook University. So we had 2 of their student groups, the Women in Science and Engineering and the Chavez Community Changers, compete against one another.
Good idea.
So they were fundraising for, I'd say, about a month and a half, 2 months. And we just had the event last week, and they raised $2,000, which was fantastic. Wow. But we had the bag packing event in one of their lecture halls, and afterwards we gave half of the bags to Stony Brook's Children's Hospital. So that's what we mean by localized impact. The Stony Brook students packing for the Stony Brook Hospital.
I love that. That's a great example, too. I love that example of the localized impact. Really making sure that people know what their hard work and donations are going to. Is really
exactly.
Nice.
Stacy, now I'm going to ask that question that puts everybody on the spot and embarrasses everybody. When you get up in the morning, do you say to yourself, I'm going to work? I honestly get paid for doing this and putting smiles on and both of you have been smiling the whole time you're here. Do you figure you trick somebody or somehow you've got the best job in the world?
Yeah, on the day-to-day, sometimes, and you get to collaborate with so many just people from interesting walks of life that are also in this same mindset of giving back. And I think you really have to look at it through a perspective lens that you are able to give, and what you're doing is not only your job, but you're truly making a difference in the world. And I didn't necessarily know that would be something that I would have the opportunity to do. So I'm incredibly thankful every single day that this is something that I can call my job.
I definitely feel like I cheated the system.
Okay, I just wanted to see if you guys were honest, because you're both young people. It's amazing the level you've reached, but the good you're doing. We're really honored to be interviewing wonderful people week after week, and here we have people. You have long careers ahead of you. How many kids you're going to help, and probably some of them are going to say, that card made me feel better, or that little toy, it just pulled me over the hump, and I can see you're beaming now.
Thank you so much for that. And I mean,
thank you.
I really do feel honored to be here and talking to you guys, because anyone that we can talk to that's interested about what we do is always someone that we're willing to make time for. But to your point where you've kind of said people that have received the cards, we've actually had a lot of recipients at this point, since we've been operating for 20 years, is that some of them have gotten cards and their families want to get involved and then host a bag packing event themselves, or they just want to come back and be involved as a volunteer. So, I mean, Zach can probably speak to this a little more than I can on the individuals, but we've definitely had a lot of people that get it as a recipient and then want to be involved as a family after the fact.
Yeah, whether it's a great example, but it's something that is the unfortunate truth is that we have had people that have had children that receive our gift bags in the hospital, whether it's the really unfortunate truth of a child passing away. But they said this gift bag makes such a difference. And while, my son was still here, it truly made a difference in his hospital stay. It was something that he looked forward to. That stuffed animal he got stayed with him throughout the rest of his stay at the hospital, and those are people that have actually come onto our board of directors.
Oh wow!
We've given to South Oaks Hospital, and they're a behavioral health hospital, so these bags have to be specifically tailored to ensure all safety standards, that it's safe for them for the 2 weeks that they're going to be there. And from there, their executive director of their hospital saw what it was doing for their program and for their employees, and he's on our board now as well. So it is sometimes the unfortunate truth, but it's something that's where you can really tell your difference when you hear these personalized stories and then people wanting to become a part of our family moving forward.
I mean, what you think about when you think about a hospital room is not really warm and fuzzy, but
No,
I would
not at
think,
all.
like getting these gifts just suddenly changes the atmosphere just a little bit for families that could really use it.
And I mean, just on that thread, from like the family perspective, obviously a lot of them have wanted to get involved after the fact, but as well as the hospital partners that we give these bags to, from the nurse practitioner standpoint, they say it is so much easier to administer the treatment that they're trying to give to the patient when you come at them with a teddy bear as opposed to a needle. So they're way more receptive, and it really does change the hospital experience for both the patient and the administrator of the treatment.
So let's talk about, you guys are growing fast, and I want to hear more about that. So you just mentioned something about growing in 7 states, right? And are there plans for an international expansion? Let's give us the goods.
That's our COO right here. This is his bread and butter.
All right.
So we started out 2023 just kind of looking where we were at just in New York and Florida, and thinking how we could grow in those 2 areas. And maybe there's some potential to go to adjacent states such as Georgia and New Jersey. That was our lofty goal in the beginning of 2023. And the next thing you know, we're up and running in New York, New Jersey, Georgia, Florida, Texas, California. And we're traveling to different hospitals. We're doing different volunteer events in each state. We're creating that localized impact to really maintain the giving season year round, and ensuring that if we're going to put the Little St. Nick Foundation in a new state, that's going to be, one of our homes. And then July of 2023 comes about, and we start looking at international expansion, specifically to Canada. So we started traveling to Montreal and to Toronto, and then since then have proudly been giving in Toronto to Michael Guerin Hospital on continuous basis. 6 times a year, we pack 250 bags with a local youth group that is an after-school program for at-risk youth, excuse me. So we provide them with community service, and they pack bags for kids within the hospital there. And we've seen that in Toronto, Vancouver, and Montreal. And even more importantly, we have a national partnership with Shriners Hospitals, which is also another nonprofit. They have 21 locations throughout North America. And we've given to their Southern California location, and they said, can we bring these bags to our Tijuana, Mexico location?
Wow.
And we said, of course, the giving nature doesn't stop anywhere. So those are the 3 countries we're in right now, and we're trying to work on giving to Arnold Palmer Children's in Puerto Rico come next month.
That's really fantastic. I'm assuming that when you go to these different regions and hospitals, you describe the impact of what you're doing and how it's impacted this area. So can you talk a little bit about that for us? Like just in New York, what's going on?
Yeah, I mean, the Stony Brook bagpacking event most recently was obviously a really big success for us. Having, those two student group organizations compete, obviously compete is a relative term here, but they're both competing towards the same goal of helping the children in their hospitals. I mean, all the schools that we've been and partnered with, like Lynbrook High School, Oceanside High School. I mean, our founder grew up here and actually went to middle school and high school with me. So just from a standpoint of where I've seen this from when we were in middle school together, just a little box in our middle school to now we're in all these hospitals and with all these partners. And like the expansion has really just been fantastic to watch from a firsthand perspective. But no, I mean, the impact here has just been fantastic. I would say that the hospital partners that we're with, the more we give to them, the more they want to get involved, the more bags they want to see, the more they want their nurses and other people within their facilities to get the ball rolling, host supply drive events. And honestly, it just becomes to more of the effect of people want to give back. And sometimes I find that people just don't know the avenues to do so. So when they hear about us, when we get into these hospitals and the nurses and families see the impact firsthand, it just spirals and snowballs, and it really is fantastic to see.
Now, Bradley's incredibly humble. Our Northeast and New York specifically, so this is where the St. Nick Gift Bag program was started. In 2012, we took Ray's giving passion of just giving toys and birthday gifts once a year, and we turned it into creating that into a gift bag and thinking, how can we mass produce this for pediatric patients on a yearly basis and a daily basis for everyone that enters a hospital to be given a gift bag. So that started in 2012, and we've given out 120,000 since then, and probably 90,000+ has been here in New York. So it started at Cohen's Children's Medical Center, which is coincidentally where Ray was admitted as a pediatric patient himself. And that's where we've given out our most gift bags. And then from there, New York Presbyterian and Morgan Stanley Hospital in the city, that's become a big partnership for us recently. South Oaks Hospital has blossomed our behavioral health bag and kind of brought us into this new territory of also giving to different departments within hospitals. And then the whole Northwell Health system has just been a terrific partnership, and they've really welcomed us into whatever hospital that we can get into. We love to help their pediatric patients in any way we can. So it's a big operation to oversee what's going on in New York.
That is a lot of local children that are getting something that's really brightening probably a tough day. I'm going to take a minute to remind our listeners that you are listening to My Hometown on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. I'm Stacy Raine here with Bill Horan, and today we're learning about the Little St. Nick Foundation located in East Rockaway, New York. This foundation inspires kids and local communities to give back to those kids in need all year long. Our guests today are Bradley Cooper, Executive Director of the Northeast Region, and Zack Andersen, the Chief Operating Officer of the Little St. Nick Foundation.
Now, while you were answering Stacy's questions, I'm sitting here getting brainstorms continually, and I want to raise money for you sitting here. So let me ask you, in a group, I was just thinking, law offices, they're always out, and of course, somebody gets injured, not always children, but is that a source of where if each lawyer could donate 1 hour of time or the fee they get for it? Now, those are nice numbers. And if they could do that to help you guys out, is that an area that you get participation from, or is there some groups we might not even think of, and someone out there who's listening says, wait, I'm part of that group, I could help this organization?
Very uniquely to something that you said, at least, we have a member of our board who started Bell's Board, which is a community online community where your board of directors can live. And he introduced us to what is called the Pro Bono Partnership. And it is a group of lawyers that are willing to give their time, need be, to nonprofits throughout the year. So we have gotten donations like that. Also, specifically to lawyer offices, just since you referenced it, they sponsor our events, or they do corporate give back, or places like that, or businesses or corporations, we create a custom donation page that is attached to our website, and they can fundraise on behalf of their business, or personally they can create themselves as a team member, a Little St. Nick team member, and raise on behalf of them theirself. And they raise funds over a given period of time, and then with those funds we go in and we provide their friends, families, fellow employees, anyone with the chance to pack the gift bags themselves and to see what their dollars are going to. So we make it very simple. $10 packs a gift bag. That includes all the raw materials, the delivery cost, the storage, everything that you could imagine. So every $10 packs one gift bag. X amount of dollars raised will come to your office and we'll pack bags with you. We'll create a fun environment, and then we welcome you, since you're sponsoring these bags, to come and see them distributed at the local facility that they're going to go to.
We have a lot of lawyers on Long Island. I'm a retired attorney, and I can tell you that that's a great way to either donate by time or money, or to put something in. And your organization, it's got to be a feel-good day for them to go out and do something. And I know a lot of firms do look for that. They are very active in their community. They want to be. So any law firms listening, or the secretary or the retired partner, come on, get out there and give these guys some help. It's called the Little St. Nick Foundation. It'd be easy for you to do. And we're East Rockaway, is that where you're based?
East Rockaway, and littlestnick.org online.
There you go.
All right, briefly, I know you're doing a partnership with Squishmallows, which I know my kids love. So
Yes.
let's tell me quickly what that is.
Incredibly quickly, we got a donation of 1,000 Squishmallows from Jazzwares, which is the 4th largest toy manufacturer in the world.
Wow.
We went actually to their corporate office and packed bags with a few head members of their executive team. From there, they gave us 2 more 1,000. These specifically went to Shriners Philadelphia. And from there, we thought, let's keep giving these adjacent with our gift bags. So we gave them to all our local facilities, and just recently have been blessed with getting 2,000 more, and they have committed to filling our gift bags for the entire year with these Squishmallows, which have become the biggest hit that we could ever imagine.
I don't doubt it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Since I'm not a cool mom like Stacy here, could you tell the old guy what a Squishmallow is?
Do you remember Build-A-Bears back in the day?
Yeah.
So it's basically a new Build-A-Bear. It's the new hit Build-A-Bear.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
A big, plump, stuffed animal that a kid can hold on to, and it makes the day a little bit better.
It's very squishy.
Yes.
A quick question. Someone out there who's looking to get started in the business world or the work world, do you have internships? Do you have volunteer positions that either high school, and you're smiling, so the answer must be yes?
Yes, we do. I'm actually going to an internship fair later today at St. John's. They have a nonprofit one.
My old school, okay.
Oh, even better. I've gone to 2 of them in the past week, but we're looking for interns to either help out Zach here with our international expansion, help us with grant research, help us with partnership research, or help us with our marketing efforts. So if any of those sound interesting to you, feel free to go to our website and send us an email.
All right. One more before we wrap up. How do we get in touch? And people out there who want to be an intern, volunteer, or just plain give money?
littlestnick.org. We will have direct forms to contact us, but we also have them for becoming a healthcare partner, a business sponsor, our internship program, or to host a volunteer event.
Our guests today have been Zack Andersen, the Chief Operating Officer of the Little St. Nick Foundation, and Bradley Cooper, the Executive Director of the Northeast Region. Guys, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you so much for having us on
You guys
today.
have been incredible hosts.
Yeah.
We appreciate it.
I'm Bill Horan. I'm here with Stacy Raine. We thank you for listening to this week's episode of My Hometown.
We like to get your feedback on My Hometown. Send your comments to WHPC at ncc.edu. Nassau Community College, where success starts and continues. Till next time, this is Bill St. James. And remember, there's no town like your hometown.